Welcome to Palworld, the new early access game that has completely taken the gaming world by storm to start the year. This game is Pokemon meets guns meets survival game, and I've really been enjoying diving into this new world and learning all that it has to offer. And because there's so much to discover and understand here in Palworld, I wanted to make a video offering my 10 best tips and tricks for getting started here in the early game. In this video I will cover helpful tips for combat, base management, farming, XP, and more. Before we jump into all that though, I would just like to say that if you enjoyed this video and my recent Palworld content, please consider subscribing as it helps the community and the channel grow. And I heard that if you subscribe, your chances of finding lucky pals goes way up. Alright, that's enough intro here, let's jump into it. Enjoy. Go catch yourself one of these Vixie. They can be found roaming around this part of the map near the desolated church. They are truly the real MVPs in the base because Vixies have this amazing partner skill called Dig Here, which when working at the ranch in your base, Vixie will routinely dig up pal spheres, arrows, items, and even gold for you. Your pals are obviously your strongest tools when taking on fights throughout the world, but your pals are also incredibly dumb. Most of the time they'll just stand there as the enemy's attack is hurtling towards them and take the full brunt of it. That's when you can step in and help protect them and keep them alive in the fight. It's a lot like babysitting a small infant, if the infant was fighting massive weapon-wielding animals. Always pay attention in the fight to the enemy's attacks so you can pull back in your pal and redeploy them to help them avoid an attack or just simply reposition them for an advantage. Help them help you. Make yourself a small feed bag as soon as you can. Do you find yourself constantly taking breaks to feed yourself or your pals? Well, once you hit level 10, you can unlock the small feed bag on the ancient tech skill tree. Having this opens up a food slot in your character where you can equip a food item. Now, as long as you have food equipped in that slot, you and your pals will eat automatically when they get hungry, and problem solved. Catch a Nightwing. These big birds can be found flying around most of the various starting zones, and while they might be a bit hard to catch in the early levels, the reward for doing so is definitely worth it. Because once you hit level 15, you can craft a saddle at the PAL gear workbench, which will allow you to hop on Nightwing and soar the skies. This truly unlocks the map for you, making it way easier to explore and find new areas and new pals. Oh, and also, flying mounts also kind of just float on the water, so you don't need to worry about drowning ever again. There are several reasons you might want to catch multiple of each pal, but did you know it was also the fastest way to gain XP and level up? This is because in Palworld you gain an experience boost for catching up to 10 of each unique pal. This allows you to gain far more XP than you would if you were to just kill the pals, and it can help you quickly farm levels in the early to mid game. Just note however, the XP boost falls off after you've caught 10 of the same pal, so make sure you're exploring the world to make sure you keep finding new ones to catch. And if you want to make it even easier to find and catch pals, you could run around at night and attack them as they sleep, but I'm pretty sure this might make you a psychopath. Here's a much more sane and not bloodthirsty use for nighttime. While in some survival games the night can be very scary, in Palworld nighttime is a new opportunity. The night is an absolute perfect time to set out and explore. Lift monk effigies, loot chests, boss spawns, towers, and even fast travel locations all light up like neon signs in the darkness of night. And because you listened to my tip earlier in this video and you now have a flying mount, you can quickly and easily fly around the map on that mount and collect and unlock them all. Running around the map, you are bound to see a plume of smoke coming from one of these fortified camps. These NPC camps are scattered throughout Palworld, and when you do find one, you should always try and clear it if you can, because your reward is a free pal that is being held captive by the NPCs. This is a great way to get a new pal you might not have come across yet, or farm some quick XP from capturing another. And if you're lucky, when you show up, the NPCs might be distracted already by a pal fight or fighting some other NPCs, and you can just sneak in and snag the pal without ever having to lift a finger. Now, catching all of these pals might leave your pal box just a bit full. And while there are other ways you can utilize these extra pals, there is a way you can turn them into cold, hard cash. While roaming the world, you will eventually come across one of these pal merchants or the black marketeers. These guys will always have a few pals to sell to you, but more importantly, they're willing to buy your pals off of you in exchange for gold. This is a perfect way to make some quick cash and to clear up some space in your box if you're like me and you have OCD looking at the cluttered mess of pals just floating around in your box. You will realize quickly that the need for metal ingots ramps up pretty fast as you start progressing through the game, and you will need a quick and efficient way to farm them. Running around and mining singular ore nodes as you come across them just isn't the move. Instead, you should look for clusters of nodes like this one and mark it down on your map. Then, once you have base level of 10 and can have 2 bases at once, slap down a quick mining base at one of these clusters to speedrun your ore gathering. Mine all the ore, fill your pockets, fast travel back to your main base, depot the ore, and repeat until all the nodes are drained. Then just simply dismantle the base and move it to another spot. Easy. I've already mentioned a few times how the night can be beneficial for both you and your party. But the nighttime also offers up a golden opportunity to find and catch a pretty broken pal for your party. These devilish pink and purple tricksters have an insane partner skill that no other pal currently offers. Normally you can only have one pal in your party out and active at a given time, but with Daydreams Headband that you can craft at the gear workbench at level 8, you will have the ability to have Daydream out alongside another pal, giving you a huge advantage and power boost. Oh, and what makes this insanely broken at the moment is that the headband affects all Daydreams in your party. This means that you can have 4 out alongside your 5th pal to have the whole squad rolling deep into battle. Well, there you have it, guys. My top 10 quick and easy tips for mastering the early game here in Palworld. If you found this video helpful at all, please make sure to leave a like as it really helps the channel out. And remember, subscribe for more content and to find more lucky pals. See you all in the next one.